150, 200 years ago, a more organized aberration came where the English tried to educate Indians the way they want. Very clearly they defined it, they had no ambiguity about what they wanted. They said they may be brown of skin, but they must think like us. Their values must be what ours are. Like this they went on. Schooling system was very, very cruel. Similar things have happened in America for the Native Americans. The English education was a cruel system of trying to contain a child in a room and beaten for 12 years with some rubbish that doesn't mean anything to him. I escaped. So this happened in India in a much larger scale and organization than the way it happened here. So when this happened, what was their intent of educating the Indian populace? The only thing is they found Indians were very good with mathematics, languages, because everybody spoke 4, 5 languages, they could pick up any language easily, and they're very good without using even their fingers, without using paper. Even today it is true, I think the present generation is completely losing it because of the gadgets. Otherwise, when we are growing up, even today, we can count things, multiply things, divide things in our mind without using any other instrument. So they found this very valuable, they thought these guys will make good clerks and accountants for Her Majesty's service, because the ambition was to take the entire world. And you needed very docile, honest, hard-working people who will never rebel, who don't have bloodthirstiness in them, who are very calm, who will never organize revolutions or anything. They will just do their work. You put them in slavery, they will think this is their karma and they will just do that also well. When they saw this attitude, they thought of all the nations they had colonized at that time. India looked like an ideal place to educate and make sure this whole enterprise of what do you call this? This whole enterprise of imperialism will be staffed by Indians, and it was. Even a large part of British army, both in World War I and World War II, was Indian soldiers who fought for 50 paisa a day. Do you understand? They did not even give them shoes, they were just wearing sandals, Indian Jodhpuris, and they were in the trenches in France, and nearly some 150,000 men lost their toes and their feet because they were in ice-cold temperatures with no shoes. So they found, in spite of that, they fought with minimal food because they were told to fight, because this thing is there in India, if you take something from somebody, the present-day Indians may be losing it, but generally, traditionally, it is called as, I have eaten something from you, that means I'll always do the best for you. Suppose you give me 1 day's food, that's it. Only 1 day you fed me in my life, I'll always remember that and always serve you in the best possible way for that one thing. So this is called namak, that I've eaten the salt from your hands, because this comes from the understanding of Runanubandha. If I've taken salt from your hands, that means we are one. So they used this in a big way and educated Indians the way it is necessary to fill all the clerical and accounting posts across the world, which they fulfilled pretty well. But in this education process, the most important thing is obedience, not intelligence, not ingenuity, not unfolding of individual genius. It is obedience. You must obey, otherwise you'll be punished. This was brought in. This is a factory designed to feed other factories. The whole education system is designed, unfortunately, to cater to the economic engine that is running, which is your personal interest, it's not child's interest. Education should be about blossoming a human being to their fullest.